Alright, continuing the next segment here. I have the Rose Book of Bible Charts, Maps, and Timelines here. I want to illustrate that this is just symptomatic or typical of what modern books put in for the Babylonian exile. Now you can see the print here. You almost need a magnifying glass to read it, but I'll read it to you. They have, let's see here, I could even find it again. There we go. First exile of the Jews to Babylon, right on top of the stick. 605. Okay? And then if we pop over to the end of it, right here, the top of the stick. Cyrus' edict allows the Jews to return to their land, 538. Okay? So now if you do 605 minus 538, okay, I think you get, let's see, 15, 9, 5, 7, 6. You get 67 years. And if you allow for inclusive counting, you can add 1, and you can get 68 years. Now, the Rose Book of Bible Charts is obviously trying to calculate from the beginning of 605 to the end of 538. Okay, so that's the maximum time that they could actually stretch that period out to be. And they only get 68 years. Alright? That is not equal to 70 years. So we see that a typical modern book of Bible charts or chronology simply cannot get it right. And they have no explanation as to why they have a 2-year discrepancy. Okay, the actual discrepancy is 3.5 years. We don't have to stretch things quite the way they did it. They stretched it in an attempt to make it fit, and they still came up 2 years short. A comfortable fit tells us that we're 4 years short. Okay. Also, if we look in, I don't have it here, but most chronologies, when they're counting out the years of the exile of King Jehoiakim, they stop at year 37. Okay, they never complete it. Alright? So we need to understand how the first year of Cyrus in Ezra 1:1 is not Cyrus the Great in 539. Okay? In order to understand that, we have to just go over the issue of a throne name. Okay? Now, a throne name is like a dynastic name. Okay? Pharaoh. Okay? Should be an O. Pharaoh. Okay? All the kings of Egypt were called Pharaoh. In fact, when the Persians controlled Egypt, even the king of Persia was called Pharaoh. So whatever king was ruling over Egypt, whether they were a foreigner, they took the title Pharaoh. Okay? We also have the example, if I make a list like this for you, okay, Caesar. Okay, and then I write Augustus. Okay, then I write Tiberius. Then I write Caligula. Okay, and then I write Claudius. And I think Nero comes after that, and then some minor emperors. Okay, the Caesar here, of course, is, his first name is Julius Caesar. Okay, but often referred to as Caesar. Now Caesar, that's the family name. Okay, we call a family name a surname. Okay, so Augustus is also Caesar. Tiberius is also Caesar. Caligula is also Caesar. Claudius is also Caesar. Nero is also Caesar. And even if they didn't weren't connected to the Caesar family. They were adopted into the Caesar family, and they got the title that goes with it. So that's how all the Roman emperors are Caesar. Okay, but we could call the first one Caesar. All right, Persian chronology works the same way. We have a dynastic throne name, Cyrus. Okay, in Hebrew, this is Koresh. Hold on there. Okay? Koresh. Okay? So we have Cyrus, Cambyses, Darius, Xerxes. Okay? And then later on we have Cyrus II. Again, we have a third Cyrus. Okay. Now, just because the first king is typically called Cyrus and the others go by other titles, usually all of these names are actually titles. Okay, when you have empire-sized, or empires, 127 provinces of Persia, the monarch tended to add title after title after title after title. Okay, I mean, by some of them you could go 5 minutes saying what all their titles and awards and everything are. But typically they only used one title. Okay, but that doesn't mean that they didn't own or have the rights to the other titles. Okay, we're going to look at Koresh in the Baumgartner's, also called Lexicon and Veritastamenti Libros. Okay, so you can get this here. Actually, it has an updated edition, which I don't have. Okay, so let's focus on here. Koresh. Okay, now masculine. In Greek, Kuros, English, Cyrus. Okay, this is, the German here says Elamitischer, if I can pronounce that, throne name. Okay, literally, from the German translation, Elamitic throne name. Elamitic name of reigning prince, Koresh. Okay, shepherd. Okay, that's the, apparently the original etymology has something to do with shepherd. Okay, now this has messianic overtones because the Messiah is also the one shepherd, and Koresh is given the title Mashiach as a type of Messiah or type of Yeshua. I'll get into this a little more later. But this dictionary essentially supplies us with the proof that Koresh is a throne name. Okay, now I want to pop over to Isaiah 45:4. Isaiah 45:4. For Jacob my servant's sake and mine elect have I even called thee by name. I have surnamed thee, though you hast not known me. Okay, this word used, phrase, I have surnamed thee, this is achanecha. Alright, and that is derived from the verb, actually it's just a conjugation of the verb kana. Okay, and I'll put up the Brown, Driver, and Briggs lexicon for you here, and we'll see what that means. Okay, kana, verb, pile root, be title, title, give an epithet or pronomen. Okay, then we get cognate language, Aramaic, Arabic. Okay, and it even lists Isaiah 45:4. Okay, I have called thee by name, giving thee a title of honor. Okay, be titles. Isaiah 44:3, be titled. Okay, so what it's saying is that in the prophecy, when it refers to Koresh, Cyrus, is giving him his name before he becomes king over Babylon, before he takes Babylon, before he tells the Jews that they can rebuild the temple and the city, he gives them the name Koresh, Cyrus, which turns out to be a throne name, a title, okay? And titles are typically inherited. They're passed on from father to son to father to son, okay? And this is very important for understanding our chronology because it allows us to identify someone who's not typically called Cyrus by historians, but who nevertheless is Cyrus. Okay. Go to the next page here, and we'll show the proof of which Cyrus, which Persian king is actually being talked about. Alright. Okay, let's talk about Isaiah 45:13 first. I did mention that. I have raised him up in righteousness, and I will direct all his ways. Okay? Cyrus is called Mashiach, but this is very interesting. I will direct all his ways. Okay? Really, Cyrus wasn't as righteous as you would think he was. He was a pagan king. He was an idolater. So, only in a certain foreshadowing sense is Cyrus actually Mashiach. What the passage is actually talking about is the Mashiach to come, hidden under the history of Cyrus. Okay? I have raised him up in righteousness. I will direct all his ways. He shall build my city. Okay, Cyrus gave orders to build the city. Okay, and he shall let go my captives. He did that too. But also, the Mashiach to come will do these things, not for price nor reward, saith Yahweh of hosts. Isaiah 44:28. That saith of Cyrus. Remember that this originally means shepherd. He is my shepherd, and actually the text tells us the meaning of the word. He is my shepherd, and shall perform all my pleasure. Okay? Even saying to Jerusalem, thou shalt be built, and to the temple, thy foundation shall be laid. Now we understand that this is a dynastic title. So actually the fulfillment of the passage in the Persian kings can be spread over more than one Persian king. Alright? Now, here's the passage that actually identifies which Cyrus the passage is talking about in the first instance. Isaiah 45:14. Thus saith Yahweh, the labor of Egypt, and the merchandise of Ethiopia, and of the Sabaeans, men of stature, shall come over unto thee, and they shall be thine. They shall come after thee, in chains they shall come over, and they shall fall down unto thee. Okay? From history we know that in 525 BC, it was Cambyses that conquered Egypt. Okay? Cambyses, not Darius the Great before him. Okay, we're going to take this up some more in the next segment.